Recording in progress.
County held on this Tuesday, March 11th. I'm Commissioner Sharon Bolos. I'm here with Commissioner Jim Harvey and Commissioner Gage Frower. We'll have our Pledge of Allegiance led by Sean Wilkinson, and then we'll have our invocation given by Mr. Chris Crockett.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we come before Thee with hearts filled with gratitude for the many blessings which Thou hast bestowed upon us. We are so grateful to live in this community among all of these wonderful people, and we are grateful for the opportunity to convene today to discuss the public's business and to find ways to improve the lives of those that we serve. We ask that Thy Spirit will be with us, that we may be able to make wise and prudent decisions, and we ask for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Wilkinson, Mr. Crockett, for filling in. Item D is Commissioner comments. Before we go to our Stall of Fame, are there any comments, Commissioners?
I've got a little bit I'd like to just
Great.
say this morning. You know, we just finished on Friday evening the state legislature. We had some wins and we had some not so wins. We'll just leave it like that. But with that, and there's some things that are happening as it relates to tourism, happening throughout the state, but it'll especially happen here. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you back there. Great to see you. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that our Ogden Eccles Conference Center remodel is going along very well. They're planning on some kind of a open house of some sort somewhere around August. Time period to be determined. Kathy, Marty have done a wonderful job keeping that so it'll be ahead of schedule, and it'll be certainly within budget, maybe a little better. And so that's fantastic. Out at the softball and the soccer and the baseball starting this week out at the fairgrounds. They had, speaking of the fairgrounds, they just had the state's largest high school rodeo. The entries were up. They had 19 different states represented there, and 3 countries, the USA, Canada, and Australia, represented there. Marty said he went to, well, you know, we need to work on Marty's loyalty to eating in Weber County, but he was in dinner out in Davis County, the second best county in the state, and he saw a lot of cowboys walking in clear out there, so the spillover for the economic impact of that one event's huge. And so it was just a really good thing. Our Upper Valley parks are slated to be the most profitable ever, or the best as far as the fullest. They're doing really, really good. We have over 1,000 students registered for the National Archery Schools Program, the NASP, this year. Over 1,000 kids of all ability, all levels, being able to shoot inside. And that's just another wonderful asset that we have here in Weber County. It's just been great. The disc golf, by the way, I wanted to do a shout out to, if I can, Commissioners, to the Job Corps, the local Job Corps. You know, we used to enjoy the inmates that come out and do some labor, but that's gone by the wayside for a while. So our team reached out to the Job Corps. They did a fantastic job cleaning up the disc golf out at Fort Buenaventura. We're seeing 2 leagues a week out there, and a special thanks to Joe Hadley in the roads department too for helping with that big river cleanup that just makes things just humming. So things are going well in Weber County with our culture, parks, and recreation. I just wanted to give a shout out and tell you thank you to Duncan and Cass and Marty. They're here today. So thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Since Commissioner Harvey brought it up about legislative sessions, he was exactly right. We had some wins, we had some losses. It was an interesting session. Last couple of days was kind of interesting. I spent a lot of time on the phone with some of my old colleagues, and most of it turned out fairly well. So we made some changes in bills that I think wouldn't be quite as kind to Weber County, and not only Weber County, but the other 28 counties that we partner with in this state. You know, at the end of the day, we'll see how what bills get signed. I'm assuming most of them will get signed, and then we will have a discussion in terms of the potential impacts. The appropriations on our side, obviously, we know that the appropriation for the ice sheet was in the bill of bills, so that's coming through 3.7 million. The Corn Ferry appropriation for the Corn Ferry coming up this year was appropriated. And we're hopeful that the IHC that we lobbied for with our public defenders was increased to the extent that I think we will be benefited at Weber County. So jury's still out on some of this, but I think overall we did about as well as could be expected. So we'll find out.
Great updates.
You
Thank
know,
you.
not everything they do down there is exactly right, in case you haven't heard that before.
I have heard that before. Thank you both. Great updates. Okay, in addition to those comments, we have our Stall of Fame for March and April. We're partway through March, so we're gonna go both months, and I'll ask Bryce Taylor to do that presentation, please.
So yes, our Stall of Fame this month gets to go to Maria and Esperanza's. Maria, this is Esperanza. They work in our building here. They start their day very early before most people are up and going, and make sure that our offices are ready to go and people are ready to come to work. They do a lot of work in this building that just goes unnoticed. They maintain this beautiful facility in here, so this is ready for commission meeting and meetings every week. But these two are very outstanding employees. They are dedicated. They've both been here just a little over 10 years, just past that mark. So they're dedicated. They work very well together. They're together all day long. But they put 110% into their work. They make my job as their supervisor very easy. They do their job, do it well, and we're grateful to have them. And as great of employees, I blame my mother for this. I'm gonna tell her. They're greater people. I've been their supervisor the whole time, and they are great employees, but they're greater friends and greater people. They always have a smile on their face. People in the building just adore these two. They do a very good job of just being kind people and being those people that you just love to see every day and have that interaction with them. So I congratulate them on getting nominated and receiving the Stall of Fame. So thank you. Thank you. You guys want to say
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We need a photo, but I just want to let you both know, thank you so much for all you do. Theirs is the job that you don't notice unless it's not done, right? And so we just always come into such a beautiful building and clean and like Bryce said, you always have a smile on your faces and always say hello and wherever you go smells good. So that's great. Thank you so much for all you do. We really appreciate it. Anything else, commissioners? We want to get a photo with you.
We do.
And we have a special keychain and a special parking spot.
yes.
Okay, thanks again for coming down. Appreciate it. Item E on our agenda is agenda-related public comments. Comments will be taken for items listed on the agenda, and we ask that anyone who comes forward, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Mayor Allen, happy to see you here.
Good to be here. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Mayor Mark Allen from Washington Terrace. Thank you for the opportunity. I would just like to speak today and publicly thank Kevin Burns and his team of volunteers on the ramp board, how much work they do, and appreciate their efforts. I would like to thank the county for putting the ramp back on the agenda, or back on the ballot last year. We've got another 10 years of it, so Kevin, I hope you have another 10 years left in you. You probably do. You probably do, but that's, just to look at that list, that's just unbelievable. The penny or two that I spend, every year to be able to do some of these projects, and Washington Terrace this year was truly blessed to get some funding and for a couple different items. So I sure appreciate that. I've got to apologize to Shelley. I made a mistake last week when I talked to her and said, well, you're all done. You're finally done with this. And she said, well, no, my work's just begun now with all the contracts. So sorry, Shelley. So Kevin, take the rest of the year off, and That's true. But I do appreciate Kevin and his team, like you said, team of volunteers to help us every single year and go through that. So thank you. Thanks,
Thank you,
Kevin.
Mayor.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate your comments. Anyone else? Is there anyone online?
Commissioners, I actually have something.
Great.
If that's okay. During my staff meeting this morning, for the record, I'm Christopher Crockett. During my staff meeting this morning, we were talking about various bills, and some examples came up of bills that are very important to the citizens of the county, and how the commissioners were influential in the passage of those bills, and for example, for funding, specifically the IDC. And so I just wanted to offer up thanks on behalf of me and my staff for your work behind the scenes. Hopefully I'm not embarrassing you, but it doesn't matter, you're not my boss, so it's okay. But there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes during the legislative session, and so I've seen firsthand the three commissioners work on those legislative matters that are important to members of the public. So I just wanted to offer up my thanks on behalf of me and my staff.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to item F, presentations. Number 1 is a recognition of Duncan Olson for earning his Certified Venue Executive designation. Marty Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Thank you for letting me have this point of personal privilege. The International Association of Venue Managers represents public assembly venues from around the globe. IAVM's nearly 8,000 active members include managers and senior executives from auditoriums, arenas, convention centers, exhibit halls, stadiums, performing arts centers, university complexes, amphitheaters, and fairgrounds worldwide. IAVM's mission is to educate, advocate for, and inspire public assembly venue professionals worldwide. The Certified Executive is an elite credential of the IAVM Association and is highly regarded by industry professionals. An individual with a CVE designation possesses significant years of experience in the industry, in addition to holding a top-tiered position within a venue or organization. Earning your CVE acknowledges you as a well-versed in all areas of venue management, invested in your own professional growth and the growth of others, and dedicated to the advancement of the venue industry as a whole. I just wanted to explain a little bit the process to becoming a certified venue executive. It's not an easy task. Before you can ever apply to start the process, you must acquire points through the association. The way you acquire those points or garner points is through serving in one of the top two leadership roles at a venue for a certain amount of time, attending venue management school, other educational tracks, serving on boards, volunteer hours, and numerous ways to gain points. And once you've earned enough points, you can make an application to start the testing process. If you are accepted, you then need to, your first step is to write an essay. That essay is numerous questions regarding subjects within the venue management industry. If that essay is accepted, you're then invited to sit for a test. That test is extensive. It takes many hours to accomplish, well over, I think, 250 questions on that test. And then if you pass the test, you have to go for an oral exam before a panel of industry experts. And once you pass that, you're given the certified venue executive. And we're proud to announce that our very own General Manager of the Fairgrounds, the Golden Spike Event Center, Duncan Olson, has earned his certified venue executive. And he's here today. And I'm not sure if Duncan, I think he should come up and, say something about the process.
I think that's a great idea.
We're proud of him for doing that. It's not an easy thing to accomplish. And I would note there are only a few hundred worldwide and only 15. Duncan's the 15th CVE in Utah.
Appreciate it. I didn't prepare a speech, even though I probably knew it was coming. I really want to give appreciation to Marty, Todd, for supporting me. Also Jennifer Graham. She was very influential in pushing me to start the process. I didn't really want to do it, but as I got into it, I kind of fell in love with gaining the knowledge and understanding of not just my venue, but all venues throughout the county as well as the world. I've built some really cool, really good relationships with people and have learned a ton. And if it wasn't for the support from my leadership as well as my team back at the fairgrounds, they do such a great job and make me look far better than I am. And just appreciate you guys for the support as well as them. Thank you.
It's great. Thanks, Duncan.
Thank you.
We actually have something for you, so don't sit down. Let's get a photo.
Photo.
There's a pink pen to match your pink tie.
Oh, you don't want me in there?
Come on. Jessica will give you a copy. Let's give him one more round of applause.
We're going to get our steps in.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
if I may.
please.
You know, I don't want to, you heard he was the 15th person in the state of Utah to achieve this. This designation is available to those who run facilities like Stewart Stadium at Weber State or the Lavelle Edwards or Rice Eccles, the Delta Center, and some of those people, not all. And those are just the places we know of in the state. There's places in southern Utah and around the state that have facilities. To be able to do this, Duncan's been working on this for 8 years. to do this. And so it's not like something you can go do this summer and get a certificate, you know. So I know Cassie's received hers, Marty's received his, and Jay's working on his. So we have great, when you talk about efficiency of our facilities, we do a lot for less in Weber County, and incredibly efficient. We could probably teach those who are working at Doge right now. We're so efficient, but I'm just really proud of our team, and I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 2, presentation of Goals 2024 annual report. Mr. Troy Callentine, welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm Troy Callentine, Executive Director for Goal Foundation. Quick off-topic, maybe back to your Icebreaker Rodeo. My daughter is in high school rodeo, and we were there to witness that this year and last. And we traveled around with the whole high school circuit, and I can say with certainty the Weber County Fairgrounds, through Duncan's leadership, Marty's leadership, and the county's leadership, is truly one of the best facilities that we travel to. I go all the way from St. George and up to here. Nothing against the other spaces, but we certainly prefer the Weber County Fairgrounds because of the space itself, just the way it's ran, and the organization. So personal plug on that side. So thanks for all you do on that. From Goal Foundation, I just wanted to come and quickly report our 2024 annual report and our kind of results of what we've been doing, and give you a little insight of where we're going next. So, and feel free to interject with questions as I go, and I'll try and be brief. So I'm the new executive director. I'm going to say that for a few more years, I think, just based on the fire hose of information that I get thrown at me every day. But I'm a local Weber County resident, grown up here, raised here, and plan to stay here for quite some time. So our mission, though, is to inspire the greater Ogden community and its visitors to get out and live through participating, spectating, and volunteering through outdoor sports and recreation. And really, there's no better place than Weber County and its offerings to be able to facilitate that mission. So we're really excited to be here and do the things we do. This year, we have a staff of 6. But it's really a team of many, many more. In particular, when we work with Weber County, I'm working with Monty, Todd, Candace, Cassie, all the different departments for permitting and things. And it really is it's a team of 6 on staff here, but again, a much broader community that helps us achieve our mission. So again, we're really grateful for all the partnerships we are able to forge right here with Weber County. Our community impact for last year, we were able to host 65 free community events. That includes things like yoga in the park. We've been doing yoga at the Monarch here and other locations, and that's just free to the community. We also do free community hikes that we schedule so that anyone out in the community can come and join us with a hike led by one of us or one of our Goal ambassadors to find a trail in the area that maybe they hadn't been to before, and meet some friends that are interested in the same kind of space. We also work with the Golden Hour Senior Center and take them out on hikes as well. So we have kind of a different schedule of hikes that we take them on, but we really pride ourselves on being able to offer those free community events. We were able to collect around $2,000 worth of donations for a green initiative where we plant trees in places and spaces that are needed, and we're really passionate about growing that. It's kind of just the tip of the iceberg where we think we're going to go with our green initiative to help green the community and focus that right here in Weber County. We donated 182 pair of athletic shoes and 10 pair of hiking poles for our senior group. So those went to some of our residents in need, Youth Impact. We work with them. We work with Golden Hour Senior Center and a couple other organizations as well. And we've got some amazing partners with Young Subaru and some fantastic donors that came to the table last year. And again, we plan to broaden our shoe donation program for those that may not otherwise be able to afford new pair of shoes. And so we like to get the athletic shoe something that they can run in, something they can hike in, and that kind of thing. So we don't spare the expense on the cheap shoe. We get them something good, and we've been able to facilitate great partners to help us get that done. We offered just shy of $5,000 in youth camp scholarships. So again, subsidizing our summer camps and other programming with scholarships that the kids who may not otherwise be able to engage in our camps, we're able to offer scholarships to those, and that also is growing this year. We, in addition to that, granted $5,000 in group grants to help support things like the Ogden Marathon and a couple other endeavors that we had throughout the year. We also started a new partnership last year with Ogden Untamed and offered scholarship programming through them as well. So again, that's a pillar of our focus that we really want to be able to broaden the diversity of who can participate in these outdoor sports. If financial hurdles are a barrier, we want to make sure we lower that barrier the best we can. And final, we had over 1,000 volunteers with contributing just shy of 70, or just over 7,300 total hours. And that number internally we think is actually a bit low from people that just pop in and maybe don't sign into our system. So again, we're looking to grow our volunteer base and keep the community engaged in the volunteerism spirit. Last year, the Ogden Marathon, we had 6,658 total registrations, which was an increase from 2023, and an estimated impact of about 1.87 million. This year, we already have sold out of the full. We're on track to sell out of the half and our 8 mile and our 5K as well. We're dwindling in numbers available for those spots, so we're really excited to see that economic impact grow. We're anticipating it to be a little over 2 million this year. From outside visitors that come to the community, experience Weber County in a way that they wouldn't otherwise be able to experience it. And again, the Weber County's participation through the Sheriff Department, Police Department, or Fire Department, permitting and everything else is just really integral to us making that event a success. So thank you for everything there. Every year we run a Granite Kids K. If you haven't been to the Kids K, it's really a blast. We have 500 spots where we offer a free Kids K. It's about, I don't know, 0.7 miles or something like that, but it's really amazing. 500 kids get revved up with a DJ that we have on site, and the Ogden Police Department bring their Harley Davidsons, rev the engines, the kids just go nuts. And it's just as fun or even more fun than seeing the first place half or full marathon finisher come through the finish line, just the excitement on those kids. And again, our mission to instill vibrancy in outdoor recreation and outdoor sports takes hold at that youth level and see them come together. So Krista Windsor is local phenom with gold. She was awarded our Hall of Fame last year. Some of our signature events are the Winter Running Series. Again, we work directly with Weber County on our permitting for the half marathon and a few other things there. The Ogden Marathon, which this year is going to be May 17th with our expo on the 16th. And we're also proud to have been able to negotiate with the Eccles Conference Center to move our expo to the Conference Center this year where it used to be. Really excited to see that come downtown and have packet pickup there and our expo vibrant in that space. The new remodel is just unbelievable. And again, working with Candace and Cassie and that team's been phenomenal. So we're thrilled to be able to put that there and just have a downtown presence. The other amazing fourth year running now is the Northern Utah Trail Fest, the NUT. That is a growing event where this year we're anticipating close to 400 participants and a little over 2,000 festival attendees that come to that. And that again is with Weber County Parks and Rec and Trails Foundation of Northern Utah, fourth year running, and it's become really a staple in the community. People ask about it kind of the day after it's over, when it's going to come next and when they can register. So if you haven't been up to that, the festival is completely free for the public. We have about a dozen other nonprofit partners that come up and offer free services and engagement for kids and family there, and it's a ton of fun. And I talked a bit about our community programs, but we do mountain biking, indoor rock climbing, hiking, and we have our scholarship programs available. So if you know anyone who's interested in that side of things, just have them hit our website and we're there. Partner Spotlight, Enable Utah was our partner spotlight for last year. They provide washing all of our water jugs as well as a big box truck, and just what an amazing facility to have right here in Weber County. And again, the support they bring to Goal Foundation and the reciprocity that we have with them for opportunities is amazing. We're glad to highlight them as a partner. Dan Spark was our Volunteer of the Year last year. If you don't know Dan, he's amazing. Likely you'll see him out somewhere on a mountaintop, skiing, mountain biking, something. And if ever text Dan, he will almost always reply with an image of where he's at, and it's 90% of the time outside somewhere. So he's living the spirit of Goal and out there. Quick list of our sponsors, but again, Weber County Ramp Grant, Weber County Tourism Works, the Utah Office of Tourism, and then we've got a broad support of other corporate and community sponsors and partners, and we really couldn't do this without you guys. And so thank you for all the love and generosity and support that you bring Goal Foundation. We hope to expand our impact on the community. And again, just a quick end of the report here. our board of directors list there, we're 13 member of voting, and then we have ex officios with representation from the county and other organizations locally, and there you go. So thanks again, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Appreciate you letting me take the time to.
Yeah, we appreciate the report.
Okay, if you guys ever have questions, just you know where I live.
Questions?
Oh, you've done a
Great
wonderful
job, yeah.
job. Impactful, thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, item G on our agenda is our consent items. Number 1, request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $728,154.13. Number 2, request for approval to ratify warrants numbers 104502 through 104538, numbers 489560 through 489660, and 420 and 421 in the amount of $1,684,263.56, dated February 25th, 2025. Number 3, request for approval of warrants 104539 through 104603 and 489661 through 489817 in the amount of $2,486,738.15 for a summary of warrants and purchase orders. Mr. Ricky Hatch.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We issued purchase orders over the past 2 weeks. We issued 46 purchase orders for $728,000. Just over half of that amount, or $395,000, is for the library to go towards digital media services, periodical subscriptions, book leasing services, cleaning supplies, and software. 22%, or $161,000, is for the parks, and that is for the post-frame building at the North Fork Base Camp. 7%, or $49,000, is for the fleet to purchase a truck for the sheriff, and 6%, or $44,000, was for CSI, and that's for a Crime Light auto kit. As far as warrants, we had 2 check runs, one for last week and one for this week. The check run from February 28th had 140 warrants for $1.7 million. 2/3 of that amount, $1.1 million, was WACOG sales tax dollars spent on the 12th Street Phase 4 construction. 9%, or $148,000, was for the jail to go towards inmate counseling, culinary, as well as policy manual services. As far as the March 7th warrant report, we issued 222 checks for $2.5 million. Just under a quarter of that amount, $556,000, was for the transfer station for disposal fees. 19%, or $472,000, was related to the construction of the Children's Justice Center. 13%, or $333,000, was road construction, primarily at 5500 West in Hooper, but also some towards the 12th Street Segment 4. 11%, or $267,000, was our contribution to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. 10%, or $258,000, was ramp awards to various entities throughout the county. And then 8%, or $211,000, was for the library system, and that was to maintain equipment and software.
Any questions for Mr. Hatch?
None from me.
Okay. Item 5, a request for approval of the minutes for the meeting held on February 25th, 2025. Item 6, request for approval of new business licenses. Number 7, request for approval of a new beer license. Number 8, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and the following entities for services at the 2025 Weber County Fair: Fremont High School National Honor Society to wash tables, Ogden High School boys basketball team to do janitorial work, magical celebrations, strolling performances, Play with Gravity motorcycle stunt performances, Whitney Lusk concert performance. Number 9, request for approval of Deputy Sheriff basic training agreements by and between Weber County and the following individuals: Jacob Gottlieb, Jackson Clark, Sierra Saunders, Tegan Gard, and Charles Six. Number 10, request for approval of change order 05R1 associated with the Wadman Corporation contract for the construction of the Weber Morgan Children's Justice Center. Number 11, request for approval of a facility rental agreement with Weber County and Weber County GOP. Number 12, request for approval of an easement encroachment agreement by and between Weber County and the Bureau of Reclamation for the JDC development to install subdivision improvements over existing Bureau drains. Ready for a motion?
Madam Chair, I'm happy to make a motion. We approve the items G 1 through and including 9 as, or 10, excuse me, 12 as presented today.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item H, action items. Number 1 is a request from the Weber County Recreation Arts Museums and Parks Ramp Board for approval of recommended 2025 grant funding. Mr. Kevin Burns, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Commissioners. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. You have in your packet the list of recommended ramp awards this year. But before we get there, I just a little information on the ramp board. We are 15 volunteers that have to we reviewed about 80 grants and dispersed recommended just over $7 million worth of funding for parks. But the 15 volunteers would not accomplish anything if it wasn't for the amazing staff that you've assigned to work with us, Chris and Christy up in the commissioner office, and we wouldn't survive without our ramp moms of Shelley and Stacy. We couldn't do it. They're amazing, keep us on track and everything goes. So it's all in all, it's hundreds of hours that go into ramp to make it work. Shelley, is there anything else I'm supposed to do? Yeah. All right. See, Mom. So this year's ramp funding started off $7,068,000, so just over $7 million, and just over 2.3 of that went to our major grant applications, and so that left us just over 2.1 for rec and parks, and arts and museums are split up. So with that, we are requesting to fund all but about 4 of the projects that submitted requests. It was a good year. It took some juggling on the part of the board. We had some money left over in our parks area. We had $669,000 left over after all of our applications were taken care of. We had $669,000 left over in parks and rec. And we transferred some to arts and museums, $370,000, to fulfill some more of those requests. And then we moved $299,000 over to majors to fulfill a couple more requests there. And then that left us about $5,000 that we'll move over to the easy grants that will still be coming. Some really cool projects on this list for the county. As you move around and you see the ramp signs, you start to notice all of the things that Weber County Ramp helps pay for, and it's a lot of things take place in the county that may not be able to take place if it wasn't for the ramp funding that helps push those some of those cool projects over the top. So this is our list. We'd like to submit to you and request your approval for these grant applications for 2025. Commissioners, do you have any questions for me?
Questions for Mr. Burns?
Thanks to you representing all the others who volunteer and put so much love into this. It's not just time and energy, but you guys do a wonderful job. Thank you.
Well, sir.
Yeah, just a comment. As I see the work and the hours that you and your committee put in, and I look at this list, it's an extraordinary amount of work that you go through. And I just appreciate you. You don't give yourself credit, Kevin, but I appreciate you being the kind of the head of that, and obviously your ramp moms that we very much appreciate do a great job. But if it wasn't for your efforts and your committee efforts, I wouldn't feel as secure in voting for this in the affirmative. But I know that you put in your time to make sure these dollars are allocated in the best interest of our communities and the citizens of Weber County and outside people that have contributed to this fund. And, we get concerned, we hear all the time about spending dollars, government dollars, and these are government dollars that are collected even though they come from tax. Very important that they're spent wisely and that they, what I call, water meets the end of that row, and I think you've done a great job in doing that.
Well, thank you, sir. I feel comfortable with what we've recommended, and there's a lot of love, and there's some blood, sweat, and tears that goes into some of these projects, and on behalf of the board. And so, and just for my part, thank you for the opportunity to serve. It's nice to find a place to fit in and serve and try to do something meaningful, and I appreciate you allowing me to do that. So, thank you.
You do a great job, thank you.
Great job.
And your entire board. I do know that there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. One of my good friends was a board member for many years, and she said it was a lot of work, but she also said it was her favorite board to serve on. So there's a lot of reward in seeing these projects come to fruition. And every time I see a ramp sign, I think about the work that goes into that. And I also will note, I appreciate, he's gone now, but Mayor Allen expressing his gratitude. We don't always get that. And there's a lot of work that goes into this, and it's nice to see people who are grateful for that money that they receive, and they understand that it goes a long way and it really helps their communities. So I also want to thank him. Okay, if there are no other comments, then I'm looking for a motion on item 1.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion that we, upon the presentation by Chair Burns, it's quite easy to make a motion that we approve that as presented by him today with the ramp, the Recreation Arts Museum and Parks. Thank you.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Item 2, request for approval of Resolution 14-2025 of the County Commissioners of Weber County appointing a trustee to the board of the Ogden Valley Recreation Transmission Special Service District. Ms. Stacy Skeen.
Good morning, Commissioners. This district is also known as the Ogden Valley TV District, and I had a board member, Michael Zindell, whose term has expired, and I posted the notice for vacancy, and I only received his application, and he would like to be reappointed to serve until December 31st of 2028. So I'm just asking for your approval on that.
Any questions?
No questions. I'm happy to make a motion whenever you're ready.
Please.
So I would move approval of Resolution 14-2025, appointing Mr. Michael Zindell to the Ogden Valley Recreation Transmission Special Service District as presented by Stacy Skeen this morning.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Brandt?
Roll call vote for Resolution 14-2025. Commissioner Faur?
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey?
Aye.
Chair Bolos?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 3, request for approval of Resolution 15-2025 of the County Commissioners of Weber County making appointments to the Public Defender Board. Mr. Brian Barron is here to present that.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Mr. Vitalik asked me to present this because he is in court this morning covering for one of his public defenders who's out sick. So this is a resolution that would appoint Judge West to the Public Defender Board. Judge West has been on the board for the past 3 years. He's been an invaluable asset to the board because of his unique experience as a retired judge and his passion for indigent defense. And so we would love to keep him on the board, and he has indicated a willingness to serve for another term. So this resolution would reappoint him for an additional 3 years.
Any questions for Mr. Barron?
No questions, and I'm happy to make a motion whenever you're ready.
Please.
So I would move approval of Resolution 15-2025, appointing Mr. Judge West back to the Public Defender Board. And as a member of that board, we actually had a meeting last week, and Judge indicated a willingness to serve. It's important that we keep him on there. He's a very fair individual. And I think it was in the best interest of the county and the public defenders to keep Judge West on that board.
Thank you for those comments.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Mr. Brandt?
Roll call vote for Resolution 15-2025. Commissioner Faur?
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey?
Aye.
Chair Bolos?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 4, request for approval of the first reading of an ordinance amending Section 16-2-9 solid waste fees of the Weber County Code. Mr. Sean Wilkinson, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. This is another update to our solid waste fees, and this ordinance specifically addresses the fees that Waste Management charges in the Ogden Valley for solid waste collection. So this will adjust the fee schedule, and the increase is a contractual obligation. For 2025, it will be 5%, and that is based on the CPI for water, sewer, and trash collection services that is listed in the contract. Specifically, this ordinance will reduce the county's monthly administrative fee from $2 to $1.50 per month, which means that Ogden Valley residents with one container will see an increase of $1.41 per quarter rather than the $2.91 per quarter due to the administrative fee decrease. So that is my presentation.
Any questions for Mr. Wilkinson?
No, but I'd like to make a comment.
Please do.
It's, you know, while this is a fee, doesn't represent a tax, it's a reduction in out-of-pocket, family out-of-pocket expense. And so I hope that this is met with, it didn't go the other way. It went down 25%. So it's great that you guys are doing the work and being efficient in not just this, but so many parts of government, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
If there are no other questions, I'm ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve as presented by Mr. Wilkinson today.
And I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item I, number 1, request for a motion to adjourn public meeting and convene a public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 2, public hearing to discuss amendments to the operating and capital budget of Weber County for the 2025 calendar year. Ms. Stephanie Ebert, welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm here today to discuss amendments to the operating and capital budgets for 2025. We meet in the fall of 2024 to consider the budget and pass the budget, and then periodically we try to meet with you once a quarter to go over any changes to that budget that are necessary. We did meet in a work session a couple of weeks ago to discuss the items that we're considering this quarter. Most of them, the majority of the list, come from projects and purchases that were intended to be made in 2024, but either weren't completed or didn't get all the way finished. And so the majority of the list are those rollover requests from 2024 into the 2025 budget, and then there are a couple of additional requests as well. And if you want to review that list and let me know if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I do have one question on jail building improvements. Was that the Kiesel facility?
We removed the Kiesel facility purchase out of that list that we originally brought to you, so that is just the remainder. The amount that's on here is for the remaining evidence room, some equipment for the kitchen, and some mainly control room upgrades in the 12th Street facility. So there's nothing in there for the Kiesel facility.
So what was on the list for the Kiesel facility? It was
I believe it had to do with a boiler was the largest one. That's all I can remember. It was a couple. It was 170,000, I think, that we took out of that.
Right. I got stopped by Bryce Taylor, and he said that was already ordered. And so he was going to see if we could cancel that. I don't know if he had ever had a conversation with you about that.
I don't know. I think there was a purchase order that was originally done,
right.
But I thought that it was canceled. I can double check with that. And I
just
can
double
work with
check on
Bryce.
that. It's not included here, so I'm comfortable with approving this. But check with Bryce. I caught him in Jason Horn's office, and they were talking about how the PO had been issued. But also, I think he said that it had been ordered, and he was going to try to cancel that.
Okay,
so
I'll check with him.
I guess we may be on the hook for it, but for today's purposes, it's not on the list. So that's my only question. Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
No, I think I'm good with that.
Okay. Item 3 is public comments. Is there anyone who'd like to comment on this before we leave the public hearing? Any online? Okay, item 4 is a request for motion to adjourn the public hearing and reconvene the public meeting.
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 5 is action on the public hearing, a request for approval of Resolution 16-2025, amending the operating and capital budget of Weber County for the 2025 calendar year.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion.
Please.
We approve Resolution 16-2025, approving those capital budget changes as presented by Ms. Ebert today.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Brent?
Roll call vote for Resolution 16-2025. Commissioner Faur?
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey?
Aye.
Chair Bolos?
Aye, motion carries. Item J.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you.